Also Chloe Martin on Instagram with 2 A's, 2 O's. I've been getting a ton of questions regarding my first bikini bodybuilding show that I just competed in just last weekend. So yeah, I just want to hop right in and answer all the questions. The first one is, what made you want to start competing? I've always been interested in it, but I didn't take lifting seriously until about probably 2 years ago from now. I've always been really active my whole entire life. I've been an athlete, but yeah, around 2 years ago, some people came up to me and approached me just asking if I was a competitor already, just because I train hard and I lift heavy for someone like me, my size, I guess. So yeah, and I actually had a couple older friends that dabbled in it as well. One turned pro, and then one just has competed a couple times. So yeah, they kind of were my inspiration. And then next thing I knew, I hired a coach. She helped me reverse out of it, a reverse diet to grow a little bit. And then I prepped for about 20 weeks. So that was, I think that was May, April. So yeah, it was a longer prep just because I wanted to not be so aggressive. I wanted to gradually do it so I could take my time and it wouldn't be as hard on my body. So. The next question was, how long have you been vegan for? And I've been vegan for 4 years now, and that was definitely a kind of a thing in my mind, would it be possible to do a prep being vegan, because you don't hear about that all the time, and a lot of people kind of laugh when you say you're vegan and you bodybuild. So yeah, it was definitely a hard thing at first to kind of incorporate that, but honestly, I've been doing it for so long, it was not a big deal. I counted my macros, got everything done, got my protein, fats, everything, drink my water. It was honestly really easy. So yeah. Another question I got that regarding being vegan was kind of what foods I incorporated. I know everyone's where'd you get your protein? And it's so simple, especially in this day and age. It's you literally can get it anywhere, any foods ever. So a lot of things that I incorporated were I mean, obviously protein powder and is definitely a help, but tofu, tempeh, protein pastas, I literally lived off of that. The edamame, there's chickpea, there's lentil, there's so many. Also your veggies incorporate a lot of protein as well as your grains, your rice, everything like that. Everything that you would typically eat as someone who doesn't eat a vegan lifestyle, it's basically the same thing, just swapping it with a meat substitute or something. So super simple. I can go a little bit more into depth about what I eat and everything in a different video, but yeah, so basically the same. So another question was what did the judges look for in a bikini competitor? So because I know there's a lot of questions between different divisions and whatnot. There's bikini, there's wellness, there's figure, there's fitness. There's a lot that goes into it. So I'm a bikini competitor, and they kind of look for, it's more the S shape. So they look for nice delts, nice shoulders, a small waist, and glutes. It's all about being proportionate, symmetry. You shouldn't look at a bikini athlete and see one thing stand out over the other. You shouldn't look at them and say, oh, look at their quads. That's when you get more into wellness and they have a bigger, more lower body dominant, and then their upper body not so much. And then as you progress, there's you get a little bit more muscle as you get into figure and whatnot. So yeah, that's what they basically look for. Another question is, will you continue? And my answer right now is definitely 100%. My whole entire experience was amazing. I had a really awesome coach. My coach is Lauren Bear from Bear Aesthetics. So yeah, I started with her in October. That's what I said. I reversed with her in October and then followed out until I decided to start my prep. I started out really small, didn't really know how to eat what, you know, like about macros or anything. So she kind of taught me the basics, and I kind of just grew from there, and I learned to love the whole entire journey. I loved growing, building my muscles. Don't get me wrong, it was uncomfortable. I gained like a lot of weight that I had never been before, but I definitely think it helped me build my base, my getting outside of my comfort zone. So yeah, I did that for a while, and then from there I started my prep, started trimming down slowly, and yeah, honestly I love the whole entire process. It was kind of fun. You go through different changes, and mentally and physically, there's no other feeling like that. And I know some people will think, oh, you're crazy, like you're starving yourself, you know, you're putting all this time and effort into the gym and everything, but honestly at the end of the day, it's like, it's worth it. Like, to be able to say like I did that, or I'm doing that, to have that thing, like, yes, like I'm in control, I got this, and there's no one else stopping me, like, it's worth it. So yeah, to answer the question, I definitely will continue. Hopefully I will be stepping on stage again this season. Otherwise I will go into a long growing season just to build myself better for next time. So okay, so another question that I got was, how did I feel mentally, and just with like eating less and everything. So mentally, I mean I was tired, especially towards the end of it. As you get closer to stage, obviously it kind of comes with the territory. Like I knew I signed up for this, so I mean I kind of embraced it. I even had to talk with my coach a lot about this. She said, you signed up for this, so let's do this. Like, you got this. This comes with it. Just make it happen. And so basically, yeah, I mean, towards the end of it, you're tired, you're hungry, but you push through. So, I mean, mentally, I was there, I was ready. I already had that discipline and motivation. Like, that never really was a problem. More so, it was like being in the gym and just feeling strong. I was always used to pushing myself, feeling strong, being able to lift heavier and heavier, and just keep progressing. As I got closer to show, that definitely decreased, and it was hard because I like to push myself. I like to feel that, like, oh, I'm accomplishing more, but it was like I kind of had to stand still, so I wasn't progressing like I was. But I mean, that just comes with it. I'm not a power lifter. I'm not trying to be the biggest in the room. I'm a bikini competitor, and so I kind of had to have that balance. So yeah, I think the hardest part was just being able to know that this is what I signed up for and push through that. So another question was, what was your cardio routine? So my highest cardio, like the most amount, I guess, the highest amount, it got up to 75 minutes 7 times a week. So, I mean, that's a lot. I know some competitors do like 2 hours, and then some will literally get away with doing like 30 minutes 5 times a week and be cutting down. So it like definitely varies person to person. That's why no one should be copying one person or the other. So yeah, I did 75 minutes a day, 7 times a week. That was probably towards like 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out, and I continued to do that until peak week. So that was steady state. List on my heart rate got from around like 125 to 140, trying to stay right there. And I did incline walk and elliptical towards the end just to kind of break it up. I never did Stairmaster just because my coach knew that I am very leg dominant, and I would literally get a leg pump from doing Stairmaster. Like, I would get off feeling like I did legs that day. So, and again, like bikini, you don't want big quads, you want proportions. So yeah, so I just did incline walk and elliptical for the most part. Another question is, how far will you want to go, or do you think this is it for you? I kind of already answered this, but I mean, in the future, getting my pro card would definitely be awesome. That's one of my bigger goals. Again, I have a lot of growing to do, a lot of building into this sport, and a lot of other things going on in my life, but this is definitely something I want to push forward to. It's my sport. I found a love for it. I know not everyone gets it or understands it, but that's okay. Not everyone is going to be your biggest fan all the time. I even know that I have some family members that question it all the time, but because in some people's eyes, it's like starving yourself to be on stage, and I guess in a sense discipline, knows the everything that goes into it, you know, like the prep, the exhaustion, the cardio, the food, the meal prep, everything that goes into it, it's so worth it. And so yeah, I mean, definitely want to go further with it. Another question was kind of funny. It was just like, what was I craving the most during the whole entire process? And it was weird. I actually craved only savory foods. Like, obviously, like sweets here and there, but my biggest thing was I had this huge craving for like pasta and Alfredo and garlic bread for some reason, and like this just salty foods. I don't know. It was like this weirdest thing. Maybe because I was like depleted, my body was craving like that potassium sodium thing. But yeah. Anyways. But then after my show, it's so weird, like I had so much adrenaline and like anxiousness in my body, like I really didn't feel like crazy hungry. And I know a lot of people like literally run off stage eating pizzas. It was crazy, but I honestly was just so hyped up off everything and the energy. I had like one french fry and I was like, holy shit, like I'm good. It was just so much going on that I don't even know if I could really like take it in. That being said, I did indulge later on that night, and I tried pretty much everything in my fridge that I had been saving up. I had Oreos, I had ice cream, I was craving a protein bar for some reason, so I literally had a heated up protein bar with some like chocolate sauce drizzled on it. I don't know. I had all these weird things that I had been stocking up, so I had to try like a bite of everything. And then the next day, I was like good. I was like so satisfied, and I was just ready. Like I've been doing this for so long. I don't know. I just like created that habit of like eating certain things. Don't get me wrong, it was nice to like indulge, and it's nice to be like a little bit more free and not have to think about it so much. But I don't know, you just create this habit and like this routine that you kind of get comfortable with. So yeah, anyways, yeah, my biggest thing was I was craving savory foods. I don't know, it was worth it though. So another question is, what was it like backstage and like kind of preparing for the show? So I was at a show that was a little bit smaller, which was nice for my first one. And behind the scenes, everyone's kind of nervous, everyone's jittery. We're all getting ready to get like our last tan on. We're getting our pumps up. So like pumping up with our bands. It's really funny. I literally have never seen so many rice cakes in the same spot in my entire life. Literally all these bikini girls like in our bathing suits sitting around like mowing rice cakes, starving. You could just like see the fatigue in our eyes, but like the excitement. It's crazy. It's like we've all been doing this for so long, like preparing. You can just see everyone kind of like radiating on each other's. You can see everyone's energy kind of bouncing off each other. So yeah, it was funny. And then like everyone's downing their salt, downing their pickles right before we go on stage, doing our pump ups. My coach had me do like a rice cake with peanut butter, and I hadn't had real peanut butter in like months, literally months. So I was like trying to enjoy it, but then I'm like super nervous at the same time trying to get ready for the stage. So it was just like a lot going on. It was kind of funny because like you can tell some people have been on stage so many times, so like this is just routine for them. And then you have everyone else like me and some other girls that have never done anything like this, so we're kind of nervous watching them. We're all just like practicing posing around. There's like mirrors everywhere, and it's honestly a crack up if you look at it from a different point of view. But it's exciting. It's fun. Everyone kind of stays in their lane. I mean, you can tell some people are kind of staring at each other. There's a little bit of this competitiveness already when you step in there. I mean, that's the sport. That's what you've signed up for. So you can tell some girls are kind of checking you out, checking out the competition, but that's how it goes. So behind the scenes, right before you go on stage, there was a room with like mirrors and everything, and people were practicing posing, just kind of doing touch-ups, fixing each other or fixing their makeup, fixing things. We have like small talk here and there, but I mean, it was nothing really crazy. I think everyone just needed to get their nerves out in some way. There's literally girls, some were shaking, like you could see, and my family even said like when they were on stage, like they were so nervous their glutes were shaking. So that was kind of funny. Right before I went on stage, I kind of just took like 3 deep breaths, and I said, this is it. This is what I've been working for. Like I felt all the emotions kind of come forward, and like it's surreal. Like it's seriously, I can't explain that feeling. And when people say, do you want to go further with it? To feel that feeling again, yes, that's my answer. There's nothing like it. You go on stage and you say, this is me, this is my work, and this is what I have to show you. And so, yeah, it was kind of a whole crazy experience, but yeah, behind the scenes, it's just like, there's no other thing like it, so. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up most of the questions for today. If you have any more, feel free to DM me, leave a comment down below. I'm always here to help. I know I have a lot more questions about like my actual nutrition and meals that I ate during prep and are currently eating, so I will make a separate video on that. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, go get it. I was trying to like say it while I was on the tip of my tongue, you know?